in-your-face type. At least when you draw reference from last year wild card in M5, he was kind of the guy. He went on Hilda, one of the few guys that play.
BTK here, so you'll also open. It's been something that Bo1 has been definitely liking. On the other hand, they go for the high-lows. This is a pick that, honestly, I could be a little worried about.
Oh yeah, you did mention the flying horse meme that came out of NECT, and of course with Ulfhednar having it available for them, I feel like this is an alien Cho more than it is an Apex 47 Cho?
I feel like it could go both ways still.
Oh, still, it's not a sure thing. Okay.
I feel like it's more towards Apex 47. I know Alien has shown it a bit, but not much, right? It's a definite flex for Ulfhednar, so it's a very, very strong pick for them. The Suyo again, like Trex mentioned, still on the table. They could go for that. Valentina for Rosa is also one of the few first phase picks for Ulfhednar on red side.
Don't forget though that Ulfhednar has shown that they are comfortable with playing with the far side. This current metagame that is filled with assassins. The Bruno is the rush for Ulfhednar. He has risen to be the most dependable marksman in this current metagame.
So two very dependable picks on the side of Ulfhednar already, but Bo1's gonna take the Luyi, make sure that Rosa doesn't get it, but not only that, do you see what we're looking at right here? Fredrin is back, BTK is back. How do we feel about it? I've been hearing rumors, I've been hearing possibilities, but I don't know.
I don't really know I don't really know as well. Like looking at this Joy pick, we've seen how you can deal with Joy, right? She's not invincible in the ultimate. You can't be immune to crowd control anymore. Plenty of ways for BTK to kind of stop TNZ in his tracks. You got the knockout from Fredrin, you got the Law and Order from the High Laws, you got the Yin Yang reaction, you got a dash right through. It is a bit of a different twist from Ulfhednar. I wonder what they want.
The interesting thing about that is that, remember during the tank fighter meta days, when you're Fredrin in the jungle, you love seeing a Joy in the opposing jungle because you control the heck out of that Joy. So for Ulfhednar to pick the Joy into the Fredrin, if it is a Fredrin jungle, it's a ballsy move.
Oh, I think it's definitely a Fredrin jungle. I think we go Concussion Blast on this bad boy.
Oh, yeah.
We just start outputting. This is already a comfort pick from Zane. The question is does it still hold up in the meta? You do have some big burst damage possibly coming from this Bruno. You have some possibility still for Ulfhednar. We're on the second phase of bans though. Ulfhednar taking out the Moskov. There is still a Beatrix open for Zia here. It's something that he has fallen back to for comfort before. On the side of BTK, I think we go into another possible EXP lane ban here.
I agree. I think the choices for marksman, at least for Ulfhednar, there is still the Natan that Sunshine has shown, and it has been one of the hot commodities during the wildcard stage when you want to go that late game. But again, well, I forgot the Bruno is there, so Natan's out of the question. So there's still Rosa's pick, right? The Valentina doesn't look that good anymore. Lilia?
Back to the Lilia?
We could go back down that route, right?
Jungle, it used to work, and it's a favorite pick for Rosa. I know it's not meta right now, but
it might help, again, because if BTK decides to go into, definitely Harith is still an option for them. And if there's a Lilia on the other side, the Lilia will give the high loss to Fredrin and the Harith a lot of difficulty. And then that'll force BTK to switch into a different magic damage jungler. The lineup of BTK to me screams like they definitely need magic damage in the jungle. So instead of going for the Lilia, they still go for the control and the still relatively good amount of burst in the Aurora. And that is still good for slow front to back style of lineups.
And I mean, the Aurora overall, I think, is one of the top tiers right now, outside the Eve and the Jushin. And what it supplies against some of the other fighter junglers, it will still supply against the Fredrin. It will still supply against enemies that just want to walk up to you, right? So a decent answer. Here comes the Granger. All right, so do we actually think the swap could come? I do not. I think it's going to be Zia Granger, but I know the fans are hoping maybe for something different.
Yeah. No. Zia Granger.
Granger, for sure.
There's no way to think
There's
of anyone else.
there's no other gold lane.
Yeah, up against the Bruno. So, okay. So we are going to be seeing the return of Fredrin in the jungle. 100% on Arlot EXP. Yes.
Is it Rome Hylos?
I do prefer the Rome Hylos to a certain degree. For sure, you can match the show. Well, you can't really match the show in terms of mobility, but you definitely have...
Today, that's a bit surprising for me, if you would ask.
Yeah, that might be true. That's why he's called Mobile Fred. So we'll see how good Mobile Fred is here on the Fredrin in the Land of Dawn for a best of one.
Yep, definitely they had to force out a response here from Ulfhednar. We're seeing the glue being picked up even as a way to respond to all this. And yeah, it's Mobile Fred coming back here, and he's facing off against TNZ, both junglers who I think we really need to watch out for because they're very keen on getting that jungle control and advantage in terms of the farming. But how efficient will our XP laners be in the early game, in the early skirmishes? Because if you were to look at the glue up against an Arlo, what are your thoughts about this matchup?
I mean, the glue against the Arlet is a matchup where, I think for the Arlet, mainly, you don't really want to go for any trades here. All you want to do is farm up, wait for level 4, and then participate in the fights.
Yep.
I think most of the fights we're going to see in the mid lane, this is a very aggressive Loyi Hylos against a very aggressive Cho and Aurora too. So it's all about the mid lane here, and you can already see that Lethal Ignition and Bargain Hunter. Man, Hoon is going for that snowball for sure. He's doubling down on the early game power of the Loyi.
Yeah, and how will Hoon create all this space, especially with the Lui, one of the best mages who you could rely on in terms of doing that. So they can really take Ulfhednar by surprise every now and then whenever they want to. But then another thing I think we have to really watch out for is Zia once again showing us another Granger Gold. Earlier, it wasn't as successful, but all things considered, the lineup right now that Bloodthirsty Kings have decided to field for this game, it seems like it could be a little bit more coordinated in terms of whenever they want to pick the team fights.
It's also much better as a front-to-back composition. Well, Apex, good read on that.
Ooh.
It's a Shunpu out here. And I do want to talk a bit more of the Arlet pick, right? Because the Arlet is something we don't really see too often nowadays, but with the Fredrin in the jungle, it does make sense for you to go for the Arlet. You get so many resets. Especially because pops in Revitalize, goes over the Sun, the final slash will connect to the Tianzi. Full lock up there, first blood for Hoon.
That was unfortunate. The sustain was still there for Shark. He had his Revitalize ready. And now Ulfhednar, they lost one member just right before this turtle. But it seems like they're still staying aggressive as ever, trying to disrupt Moazine from getting his purple buff, but still he'll be able to get it either way. So we may potentially see that once Tianzi gets hold of his purple buff, will they try to still attempt for this turtle contest?
I guess we'll see. Apex is walking up, no level 4 just yet, so no Way of the Dragon. Goes in for a bit of damage. Diversion into the back right now, full flank with the Glorious Pathway down. Who's going to be able to put up some damage as Alien goes over to split. Zane still looking for the Red Tree. Tianzi walking up as well. It's a 50-50. Jikudo over Red Tree. Moazine wins it up. The split onto him, now mounting Moazine. Shark in the midst of it all, still caught there. Just get away the Dragon to bring him back, and that's going to be Tianzi picking up the kill now as Hoon goes in for the Yin reaction. But Apex 47 dives in, and Chicken will be able to flicker out for now. Alien gets the immobilized, forcing Chicken to go for the vengeance, and Apex takes him down.
Bloodthirsty Kings, they get hold of the turtle, but I believe Ulfhednar, they're really happy with the trades that they got. Bloodthirsty Kings, they were able to create that proper zoning. They were able to look for the members. They were able to zone out Rosa, but they gave Ulfhednar enough time to actually regroup and for Tianzi to even catch up to that team fight. He didn't go straight to the turtle right after securing his purple buff. He was also trying to get his orange buff, but even then he left it. He said, all right, I'm just gonna join, and that rewarded Ulfhednar a lot.
Definitely did. They just played it super slow. They wanted to get the mount before going in. That's the thing, right? When you're up against a Spreadgen on the Joy, you want to come in as the assassin. You need to come in last. If you come in early in the fight, there's so much CC from BTK, and you can already see it over to Apex. Tianzi walking up now over to Hoon. That's a Frigid Glacier to set up for the electrifying beats. Onto Zia now. Apex getting a good kick over, but the Purify gets him out. Zia still kiting away. Apex very low. Shark unable to go and march in forward. Zane will be able to get some damage down onto Alien, but that's about it.
I feel like this entire situation is becoming something Ulfhednar really consistently takes advantage of. Their early rotations coming in from their XP lane and the information that they're able to get immediately, but that's a trade. They take Apex 47, so I don't think they'll be as aggressive towards this bottom lane anymore.
Like, it's a kill, right? It's good for Zia, but it was also great for Sunshine. He got almost the entirety of the turret gold there down below. And we saw how the Bruno matchup against the Granger played out just earlier, so... Again, that's going to be quite concerning, you know, giving Bruno gold in the early game once he gets the Milfic gun. Oh, I don't know, man. Sunshine, he might actually be able to rival Mr. Siggy Boom as, you know, the Turkish trigger man.
I mean, earlier we saw towards the late game, at least 3 basic attacks being enough to take out the late game Granger, and I think we're seeing Zia going for the exact same emblem combinations even, but who will be able to take hold of this turtle? Both teams are able to see each other right now.
Double advantage, that's a Jikudo. Moazine gets it. The last hit over with skill 1 in the Red Tree. Chicken walks in with vengeance, and Alien will just disengage. Neutral objective control for BTK.
I think Mobazane's here to remind us of how reliable the Fredgen is when it comes to getting these objectives. That's a second consecutive turtle that Mobazane was able to secure for his team. So I think regardless of the more successful engagement, hold on, Rosa, will he be able to get out of this? So, whoa.
Close, very close. Has to use the flicker. And Apex will be able to grant him some safety up top. Chicken could be able to survive this. There's no real kill threat here. Bottom lane, that's a diversion. Sunshine gonna be caught. Hoon missing on the net reaction, but Zia gets the last hit. Apex with the way to drag, but Revitalize gets popped in by Shark, and now Apex is forced back. They have essentially already shut down Sunshine. Now they're gonna get a shove down, and what are they gonna look to group?
That was a really quick response from BTK though. Like the moment they knew there were two members trying to actually get some of White Chicken's attention, an immediate diversion towards the bottom lane, and a very great or a rewarding kill that they could secure up against the Sunshine, who earlier we mentioned, he's just getting all the farm. He's going unnoticed, but now Bloodthirstykings, they're paying attention as well. So they want to shut down these winning conditions for Ulfhednar. And we also haven't paid much attention to how Bloodthirstykings, they're actually showing some slightly better control in terms of taking the conversions and objectives of the turrets.
I think they're doing a much better job so far here. Only the turret gold really going to Ulfhednar, right? But in the mid game, late game, getting these turrets, that's what's important here. Not just that turret gold. And Zia is already being swapped up top. Let's see how they get this. Zia is getting 3 hits down. Doesn't look like Ulfhednar want to walk, and Moba Zane doing a good job on this Fred. That's Moba Fred for you.
I can imagine how hyped up those former Fredrin users are right now, or do we really call them former? Because either way, I think we're gradually seeing a increase the number of Fredrin appearances. Who knows? This might not be the first or the last time we'll see the Fredrin here in M6, and this is the third and last turtle that, compared to the first two, Ulfhednar won't be contesting anymore.
Perfect turtle for the Bloodthirstykings. 3 for 3, and now they play the slow game. They're just waiting for Zia, I would say, right, to get to those item power spikes. It does seem like for Hoon, he should be already on it. So, I don't know, man. It's just a slow game at this point, right? They just want to outrange Ulfhednar, and they want to peel for Zia.
Yeah, and it's
Protect
nice.
Mr. President.
It's nice to see, like, Bloodthirstykings gradually adapting to this kind of a playstyle. We know for one that if it was White Chicken we're talking about, the eager one to make the plays, the one who wants to go for those really aggressive XP laners, but it seems like they're adjusting really well to this high loss XP gameplay that they're showing us. They're really able to protect the key members we are actually watching out for here in BTK and pick the right team fight. It's speaking of... Alright, that's another diversion play they do up top. So right now, the problem for Ulfhednar definitely is how could they expect all these team fights that will come from BTK? And now that they're struggling to get the pickoffs, they're struggling to get the way of the dragon towards Zia. But speaking of, that's an attempt though.
Great final slash to Flicker. Now Rosa gonna be caught. White Chicken just staying on him. The way to Dragon appeal, but now the vengeance and the last shot. Rosa is down. Sunshine gets a trade in the bottom lane. That's a tier 1, but still, Bloodthirstykings definitely leading here. And I don't know, Brigitte, but BTK, this team finally coming back on stage. The color scheme, the stage. It really, I don't know, this tournament feels a whole lot like M3, man. You can see Chicken walk up again, get in the final slash, baiting out the Purify as well. Hoon to be targeted down by Tianzi, but he's still able to get the yin-yang reaction and get some shielding, and he will be able to escape for a bit. Hoon did the shielding again. Oh, the stun coming in. Tianzi outplayed by Hoon and Shark with the Revitalize, and now it's a full dive. A Appraiser's Wrath from Moba Zane. Chicken going for the kill, and that's a stab from Moba Zane. He will be taken down. Chicken gets out though, and it becomes a great trade for BTK. That's a 2 for 1, and they only lose their tank jungler.
And they immediately convert and take out some of the remaining resources from Ulfhednar as well. BTK, they're that much ahead that Hoon has the liberty to just throw out all those combos to get those shields and sustain these attempts from Tianzi. It's not something you would typically see for a Joy who's able to isolate his key targets. But just with Shark beside Hoon, he was able to sustain everything. And this might be a very difficult situation for Ulfhednar if they do want to go after this Lord. Tianzi though, he's 1 level, oh no. He is 1 level ahead of Moba Zane.
You still have the clear speed, right? Way better clear speed compared to Fredrin. The only reason Zane is able to actually be just 1 level down is because he got 3 turtles. If we didn't get the 3 turtles, maybe we would see like a 3-level dip for Tianzi here. But hey, now he's equal actually to Tianzi. He will be on the Lord. We're actually playing with the Moba Zane walking up. Gotta go for a bit of a trade here. The Lord has been taken very low. a quarter of its HP. Zia still holding on to it. The Lord Dance is a bit tricky nowadays.
Oh.
The diversion into the top. Alien's gonna be caught. A full dive into Tianzi. Has the damage. Electrifying beast. Zia, that's a bad spot to be in. Zia assassinated. Now Shark mounted on as well. Mo Hussein, unfortunately, unable to survive. Sunshine go for the free hits now as he is free hitting the entire fight. Shark will fall as well. Sunshine with a double. Hoon Purify now. Sunshine with the chase. Tianzi very low. White Chicken waiting in the bush again as Ulfhednar take control of the game through Sunshine on the Bruno.
That might have not been the best target here for Bloodthirsty Kings, or probably if we were to like rewind it a bit, it seems like they were really trying to go after Tianzi, but they did not have as much idea. That Alien was also there, that Ulfhednar, they were already all around that area trying to position themselves prior to this Lord, and unexpectedly they will be able to take hold of it instead. So it's Bloodthirsty Kings who will be having to defend for this first Lord, but definitely they will have the resources, they have the range to do so, but Ulfhednar, they wouldn't want to miss this opportunity to at least attempt and even out the map.
Definitely, Ulfhednar, you know, the way that they have been able to utilize the Bruno and the wildcard. We've seen how brutal Sunshine can be on this Bruno, and so far he's been farming, waiting for that item power spike. I wonder if he has the Melfic gun already. I'm gonna have to check real quick, and he does so. Melfic gun power spike online now for Ulfhednar. It's a battle of the front to back, honestly, at this point, right? Tianzi will have more ways to actually try to assassinate some of the members from BTK. But Ulfhednar's front to back, it's kind of a different version. BTK plays a front to back with a lot of frontliners. Ulfhednar played a front to back with a lot of assassin backline threats.
Yep.
So Tianzi essentially becomes kind of a distraction.
Yeah.
So that Sunshine can free hit like we saw earlier.
Yeah, and for Apex 47 to actually find the right targets this time around, I mean, they can be slightly more aggressive compared to earlier, but they decide to go for the diversion towards the purple buff.
Rosa gets caught, Apex gets away with the Dragon now, and Sunshine is completely zoned away. Apex with a flicker out, Alien split to escape, and it will just be a 1-for-0. The Lord advantage from Ulfhednar, they were able to get some turrets, but BTK fend off the tier 2 in the mid lane.
Honestly, those those very decisive diversion plays can either go like really good or really bad for BTK, and that was an example of a really good diversion play. In as much as they probably had an idea that majority of the members of Ulfhednar were there, it's also probably Ulfhednar not expecting that they'd actually teleport there and pick a fight.
It's a tough plan to go for. Like Bloodthirsty, we saw the gold lead immediately just disappear with one wrong diversion.
Yeah.
But one good diversion can turn the entire game around.
Yeah.
For BTK though, they don't actually need to rely on the diversion that much. They can actually just play the normal front to backs as long as they keep Zia intact and as long as they actually save some of their CC abilities for Tianzi. This Joy is going to have a tough time diving into BTK.
Yep, and honestly, that's the play that has continuously punished these attempts from Ulfhednar. The proper timings of the final slash, but they find Alien!
Alien just got disintegrated. Sunshine sniped down. That's another. Oh! Almost threading the needle. Apex 47 able to body block. But we're getting to a point in the game where the range is starting to play a big factor. Just like in game 1 with Innocent on the Granger, now it's Zia on that Granger.
Yeah, and I mean, even if they decide to like take on these fights head on and right in front of these members, that's like increased accuracy for those skill shot based skills from BTK to actually connect towards Ulfhednar. And as we've seen it earlier, that's Alien, one of the tankiest heroes from Ulfhednar, but he surprisingly just disappeared in the blink of an eye. So BTK, they may take control of this Lord pit, and could this be a much more successful attempt at taking the Lord compared to earlier?
They gotta play with the poke. I think, you know, they have all the tools to make it better than before. They just gotta play with Zia and Hoon. They have so many ways to chunk Ulfhednar low before the fight even happens. Because for Ulfhednar, it's really all about engaging. It's really all about destroying that front to back. If you poke them out of these fights, they might not even be able to do that. And you can see with the advantage they have in the side lane, yeah, Ulfhednar will have to deal with the mid lane, will have to constantly rotate into the bottom lane later on as well. BTK have the control.
3 members are just hiding here in the left mid bush, but it seems like they have a different plan in mind. Sunshine!
Oh, gonna be caught in the flanks. Hoon with a diversion that might have just won them the game. Tianzi in the midst of it all, Chain CC'd. It is the mount on Shark, but you do not mount a horse without getting tapped down by the man who plays the horse. White Chicken takes him off. Alien is down. Apex will be forced to recall, and BTK get the 2-for-1.
And that clearly is a win for BTK here. Will they proceed with taking the Lord, because some members seem to be running after TNZ right over here, but TNZ will still take him on.
Great electrifying beats and the winner crown too. Now it's Rosa who walks in forward. TNZ again taken down before he can go for the kill. Now Apex looking for the play, goes over to Jikundo, just buying a bit more time, and BTK will be forced back because of the damage that TNZ has done.
And you said it, they bought time. They bought enough time. Sunshine is now back in the game, but that's a quick diversion once again. Will they find Apex 47? They do, but he gets to Jeet Kundo out. So they regain control of this Lord, and now that TNZ is gone, they will clearly take it for themselves. Not unless Ulfhednar, they still want to attempt and take on a team fight.
No, way too dangerous. Good glorious pathway, and BTK take the enhanced Lord in the 16th minute of the game. That's Boba Fred for you, getting the neutral objective. And now it's back to where they started when they had that gold lead. 2.6k gold lead over the BTK as they build this Lord advantage.
We're seeing a very systematic gameplay once again from Bloodthirsty Kings, but in some parts, a slightly experimental approach towards playing the game as well. We're looking at really good gold in the hands of key members of BTK right here. Hoon, you mentioned it, he's already completed all of his items compared to Rosa. Clearly struggling right now and trying to position himself as the Aurora. It seems like he's been a consistent target for BTK ever since the beginning of this game, but Hoon, wow.
Wow, that was a crazy diversion take from Hoon. I didn't think he would take it, but you know, he does. He knows that there were a lot of people there to help him out. Oh, TNZ was looking for a flank, gets caught out and spotted out. He will just go to the purple buff. I don't know if BTK will... no, they won't chase TNZ. They're just going to play with the Lord and maybe look for the Lord charge. But no, they're actually taking it super slow. Won't play for the Lord. The Lord gets taken down. Sunshine deals with it. They'll steal the purple buff away. Oh, now Apex is chain CC, but he does have the Shun Poo. So, yeah, it becomes a kind of just... It's an equalizer. Now they are on the same amount of turrets.
Yep, honestly, I feel like we're seeing some, or BTK having some second thoughts as to whether or not should they be reacting to the pressure that TNZ is trying to create in this kind of situation against BTK, where they're clearly trying to catch up. But that's one of the strengths that you'd probably consider for this kind of assassin jungler, for the Joy. Like the mobility it has, the ability to close gaps or even just run away from these members of BTK and create or control the macro all by himself. It's one thing that could probably distract BTK from doing whatever they want to do, doing whatever by the book attempt they want to proceed with in closing this game. But Apex 47 and even TNZ comes in from behind.
Alien trying to split them up. Zia still kiting away. Moba Zane able to sustain back up, but Alien won't be able to do the same. Oh, it's a battle of the frontliners, and Zane is on that Fredrin. So tanky and sustainable.
It seems like those sandwich plays aren't really working for the matches we've seen today, at least. That's a 3-man knock-up though, but the immediate burst down!
For Chicken with the final slash finding, and the Appraiser's Wrath to combo it in. Tenzi's in the midst of it all as a Joy gets the electrifying beats, the winner crown and the immortality buy. But now Tenzi able to escape. Mobasane walks back up, trying to go for the kill, and it's Sunshine with a triple to save Ulfhednar in game number 1 in this best of 1.
And this is no joke. I just want to say, I lost track. We were already 19 minutes into this game, so the death timers, they're actually quite long. They're actually extending the game to this point, and TNZ with the high electrifying beats, will he be able to catch Shark? Not just yet, but still dashes in. Fortunately, there's the glorious pathway, but man, this is already almost a 20-minute game.
It's coming to a point where we're going to see one big fight, and then we're going to see the end here. Ulfhednar defending it, and now they're going to go for the Lord. This is an Evolved Lord, so it's going to be a bit tougher for BTK to deal with, and there's absolutely no chance they get to contest this. That's a free Evolved Lord over to Ulfhednar.
This is actually devastating. Bloodthirsty Kings for the entire 18 minutes or so, having complete control, actually making Ulfhednar kind of become so unsure of whether or not they actually want to position themselves in certain areas, because Bloodthirsty Kings, they have this tendency to really be first in terms of taking control of these brushes, but then in the blink of an eye, Ulfhednar just relying on Sunshine's late game capability. Now we're seeing them being the more aggressive team. Bloodthirsty Kings, they have to defend this. But how reliable is their wave clear exactly when it comes to this point in time?
Good question. That's a really good question to ask. Is the Granger going to be able to actually poke down the Lord enough for it to stop the siege? Because Ulfhednar, they should have ways to actually zone BTK away and for Sunshine to just get some free hits onto the turret. If he does get those free hits. Oh, Tienzi's melting Mobazane down. Oh, with just a quarter of HP left, forced to use the Appraiser's Wrath, and the Evolved Lord will be able to charge down. That's a base turret taken down up top. Mobazane's going to be very careful with this Fredrin. BTK, they're able to fend off for now. They will be able to defend, but there are going to be some more waves in the mid lane. Ulfhednar will not push forward. They will be happy with the base turret taken down up top.
If Tienzi hurts that much against Mobazane, how much more if he gains access to Zia, to Hoon, to the other less tanked members of BTK at this point? Because if we were to look at the item builds, this pretty much explains why Tienzi is starting to hurt so much.
Yep.
He's full build. He also picked up both the Holy Crystal and the Divine Glaive, and if ever he wants to create some crazy plays, some surprising plays, he can go for it. He has the Winter Crown in his arsenal as well.
The Winter Crown is such a good tool to have on the Joy, because the Electrifying Beast, I mean, with the new Winter Crown, it still comes out, right? So you're dealing damage with no risk at all while you're in the middle of the fight. And BTK, I think they've been kind of overconfident a lot of times, just sitting on the Electrifying Beats. I know you got the Athenas, I know you got that Radiant Armor, but hey man, it's better not to take that damage when he's on you. Better to actually move back again. I understand though, they want to try to just go for him right as he gets out of the Winter Crown. Unfortunately, Sunshine's there too, right? Tienzi's not the only damage dealer. If you stick like that, Sunshine's going to get that worldie down. He's going to be able to get those free hits. And that's why we've seen Sunshine be the assassin, funnily enough, right? He's not the main damage dealer. Tienzi's been the one chunking them low, but Sunshine's been getting the balls down.
Yep, I'm really glad you mentioned that, because for the first or at least the entire game almost that we've been seeing, it's this teaming up together. It's this 5-man rotations that have been really benefiting Bloodthirsty Kings. But at this point in time where Ulfhednar, they can also do the same. They can rely on their team fight capabilities to its fullest. Will it still be the same story for BTK this time around? Because if they decide to stick together, Tienzi, he can just reach more targets. He can just dash through more targets. And Sunshine with the Worldie, he can just look for the free hits indefinitely. But Tienzi waits when...
No! BTK get the diversion, and Tienzi evaporates. 22 minutes in, that might be the play to win the game. Apex trying to open up the map now as Rosa goes in for the zone. Lord should be free. Tienzi down for 47 seconds.
That's no joke. We're 23 minutes in. The death timers are no joke, but it seems like Ulfhednar, they still want to take on this fight. Apex 47 poked very low, but that's a flicker from Alien, and he's isolated. He's alone, and White Chicken though.
Trying to escape, will be able to flicker out there. Does seem like Ulfhednar is doing a great job right now, holding on to it. The Glorious Pathway popped down already. Apex 47 going for the stun right now onto Mobazane. Will he be able to get it with the Way of the Dragon as well? Mobazane still with the Retribution. Apex Immortality down. Sunshine with a Purify. The final slash brings him into Zia's gunshots. The yin-yang reaction will get Hoon a double. And now Ulfhednar will have to defend against the Evolved Lord of BTK.
While Sunshine is yet to return for nearly a minute. So Bloodthirsty Kings, they're really picking up the pacing. They want to make as much use of this Lord that they've secured for themselves. This is an Evolved Lord, and definitely you'd want to stick together this time. This is the moment you'd want to stick together and really stay by the Lord's side. But wait a minute!
Winter Crown into the Immortality. Tienzi buying some items, but is it going to be enough? Tienzi down. Who gets a killing spree? Apex with the conceal, Zia with the Sky Piercer. It's a diversion again to flank Ulfhednar. Rosa pops into Frigid Glacier, trying to survive the Sky Piercer. That's one stack on the board. Apex buying a lot of time, but it is not going to be enough as Chicken gets rid of him. Bloodthirsty Kings. BTK is back on the world stage.
A wipeout before securing the game. The return of BTK. Moba Fred! He's just proving us so much things on the first day!
He never fails to do it every single time. Able to just shatter expectations on stage.
You know what?
There's something with this team.
I'm just so glad we don't have to do those series predictions. We're kind of safe from doing all that, but how about the panel? They're not safe from doing all that, so let's ask them about their thoughts regarding this game.
The goal to team there. BTK went into this, it seems like, with the idea of let's pick a
Time he walks up, gets stunned up by Law and Order, gets taunted by Mobile Zane, gets stunned by Fight Chicken. This choke didn't really get to kind of play the way that he wants to do.
Man, but look at Fried Chicken there. In the very beginning, we saw some great moments of getting that final slash off, and it does continue to make plays happen. BTK loved playing in this box, and there's that play you were talking about. All 5 man on the boss side, they were looking for those picks, those small hits. As long as they could get one here and there, it turns everything into their favor. And I mean, literally, almost every fight, all 5 of them are in this small little circle, like, let's just brawl this out. Let's just do this. And Ulfhednar trying to send shots from the outside, but it's just not enough. These are some of the last plays of the match, Husky.
Yeah, absolutely. And this one was where they found Alien. And Alien just has such a tough job because he gets blown out so fast. And even until the very end, this was when they made that sort of a backdoor diversion. They took out TNZ for almost a minute, which allowed a very simple Lord take. And Ulfhednar just couldn't really fight back.
showing up like the Spanish Inquisition, just out of nowhere. Ulfhednar was overwhelmed. BTK, is this now the new BTK playstyle? It's